There's 6 clubs in the English Premier League. It shows the annual salary, X million pounds, and the number of points scored, which is Y. This table, we've got to use a suitable formula, calculate the product moment correlation coefficient, and that means I'm going to need to use the formula sheet. So I'll put the relevant formula down here. This is R. It's got 3 formulas, this one, and the one which I've cut off here because we don't want to use that one. And this is the one we want to use. So I want to use SXY and these. And I've kept those above here because SXY is up here. And what we want to do, we want to use the one which is use the bits of formula. So we've got sigma x squared. And I've got sigma x squared here, so I don't want this middle bit. I just want these end bits, and I don't want this bit. So work out each individual bit. SXX, that bit equals sigma x squared, which is 200.39, minus sigma x, 33.7, squared all over n, and there's 6 of them, and that equals 11.10. 8333. The next one, sigma yy, sum of y squared, which is 28314, minus sigma y, 410, squared all over still 6, and that equals 297.333. And then SXY is sigma xy, which is the last one, 2313.9, minus sigma x, 33.7, times by sigma y, which is 410, all over 6, and that one equals 11.06666. So we want to work out the top one, so this bit equals, and this is what R equals, 11.06666 divided by the square root of SXX, that's the top one, 11.108333, times by 297.333, and that equals 0.192562, and that is between 0 and 0.2. State what this value of R shows. I mean, even if you didn't calculate it properly, you can still state what it shows. It shows very weak correlation. So, yeah, weak correlation. And Fan suggests to use a regression line to work out how many points scored when someone's highest salary is 1.7. Well, give 2 reasons. Well, first off, it's very weak correlation, so it wouldn't necessarily be very good. And secondly, 1.7 million is way out of the range of this. So 1.7 would need a lot of extrapolation. So they have to go a long way from the data that you're given. Wouldn't be so bad if it was something like 3.5, but 1.7 is a long way away. And that's question 1 done.